Good morning. Hopefully, I have some better internet today because yesterday was just poopy. It was such a bad internet day for me. I need some lipstick. Everyone want to put on their lipstick with me? Lipstick. All right. I feel so much better with lipstick on. My mom never left the house without lipstick. She may not have any other makeup on, but she certainly always had her lips on, is what she said. And um, it's always carried with me. So like going through COVID when we wore what's going on with my hair? When we wore the masks all the time, it was so hard because no one could see my lipstick, and I kind of feel naked without lipstick. So that's that. So good morning. If you are joining the morning huddle today, come in and say hi. And how is your Tuesday morning so far? Hopefully your Tuesday morning is going really well. So far, so good on my front. I'm not even sure what I've done so far this morning, but I feel like I've been productive. Oh, I planned a little bit for this call, so I think that's a little productive. So what are we going to be talking about this morning? We're going to be talking about three things. One is don't do it alone. I posted that this morning in the group. Like, what does that mean? Don't do it alone. How to not do it alone. How to grow your business when you don't know what you're doing. Good morning. Hi, Nadine. Thanks for joining. And then the third is power. There's that could be a very large, broad topic, right? But I'm going to narrow it down to a certain thing. So I would like to start with not doing it alone. So not doing it alone, and kind of what I mean by that. I mean, obviously, not doing it alone means don't do it alone, but let's like really look at that, because let's look at how a business is the infrastructure of a business, and then like what we're doing as women entrepreneurs and women business owners. Okay, so your business, whether you're just starting, you just have an idea, you're starting side hustling, or you're making $10 million already, this is what a business is made up of. Okay, so I want you to write this down. This is what a business is made up of. It is made up of a CEO, which is you, a controller, which is you, a marketing director, which might be you, a sales team, which might be you. Say hi to my dogs. They're back there saying hi. Sales team, a customer service team, operations people outside of being a controller. So controller is your overall, but then there's other operations. And then the big one where we spend most of our time is creating our amazing product or service that we're out there being the CEO, controller, salesperson, marketing director, and overall operations and customer service person for. So if you are just joining, I am talking about what a not doing it alone and what a business is made up of. So I want you to make sure you're looking at your business as a business, because these are all the things that make up your business. So one more time: CEO, controller, marketing director, sales team, customer service, overall operations, and then lastly, what you sell, your product, your service, your whatever you sell. So guess where we spend most of our time? Where do you think we spend most of our time? If you're joining, feel free to post in where you think that you spend most of your time. But what I see with clients is where we spend most of our time is perfecting and growing and spending a lot of time on our service or product or offer, and really passionate and cultivating that, and delivering that in this beautiful way. And everything else kind of goes to the wayside, or we may not even know how to do the rest. So that's the second thing. We get really, really excited about building this business and sharing our magnificent product, service, or offer with the world, but we don't know how to grow a business because we don't know how to be all things to our business. We don't know how to be the leader, to how to be the CEO. We don't know how to be the controller and make sure that all of the financials and operations are getting done. We don't know how to be the marketing director. We don't know how to be our sales team. We don't know how to be daily operations and customer service. What we really know how to be is the master at our service or product. When I used to consult in the food and beverage industry, I worked with a number of chefs that opened restaurants. And we used to laugh about it and say that chefs should be the last ones that actually open restaurants. They need a team to open restaurants because chefs are brilliant chefs. They can make great food, but running a business is a whole nother game. And it's the same thing with us. It's the same thing. We are masters at our zones of genius, at what we do, but we may not be masters at running a business and building a business. So, yeah, Trisha. Yes. So, how do you grow this business when you don't know what you're doing? I'm going to simplify this. I just freaked you all out with, oh my God, how am I supposed to be all of these people? And you may have pieces and points of this already worked out, right? You may have a bookkeeper. You may have someone doing your social media. You might have a virtual assistant. That's all fine and good and dandy, but I just gave you that whole list that goes into growing a business, and we just don't know how. So I'm going to simplify this for you. I'm going to simplify this in a way where I've done this for a long time, and it's called the pay time, no pay time column. So pay time versus no pay time. Good morning. We're talking about business. Of course, we're talking about business, but thanks for coming in. So pay time, no pay time. And say hi to Bear. He's very excited to be part of the live this morning. What does that mean? So pay time is how you're spending your time that's generating you income. And no pay time is all the things that you have to do that doesn't generate income. And I want you to look at how much time you're spending on each of those things. So let's go through what makes up pay time and what makes up no pay time. So pay time. Pay time is the work that you're doing that's generating income in your business right now and for your future. So when it comes to perfecting your service, product, or offer, that is not pay time. Perfecting your offer is not generating you income right now. So obviously you need an offer, you need a product, you need a service, but spending hours and hours and hours perfecting that is not generating you income. Once you have a service, once you have a flagship, once you have a product, that's enough. That's all you need to either start or grow, okay? So in saying that, working on your brand and your logo and your website, guess what, guys? Not generating you income right now, okay? That is no pay time work. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing it. I'm just saying it's no pay time work. It's not generating you income right now. So pay time, income generating activities are sales activities. So sales activities are what are generating income right out of the gate. So the difference between sales and marketing, right, is the sales team is generating income right now, going out there and making the business money. That's what the sales team does. Your business does not grow unless you have a sales team closing sales, closing clients, affecting your bottom line. Your marketing team should be collaborating and working closely with your sales team to build your community, build your audience, and get leads in the door for your sales team to close. But here's what happens. The marketing team sometimes doesn't meet the sales team, and the sales team isn't doing anything, and the marketing team is just kind of like wandering, doing a ton of things, but no sales are actually coming in. So the sales team and the marketing team really, the pay time work with the sales and marketing team, when you're a solopreneur running your business together, they need to go like this. Okay? So what that means, the pay time activities, there's 4 ways, right? There are 4 ways for you to get money in the door and affect your bottom line. So the pay time activities, income generating activities, start with what are you doing daily to reach your audience directly, organically, directly. That means one-on-one, directly reaching them. What does that look like? How many email drip campaigns do you have going out? How many DMs for coffee chats do you have going out? Are you measuring your outreach every single week to your ideal client or buyer? How many wholesalers are you talking to this week about getting into their boutiques? How many distributors are you working with that can distribute your product and target? This is all outreach. And we shy away from outreach because it's hard, but it is a pay time activity that will generate you income. So mastering that skill set as a solopreneur, as a woman entrepreneur, when you have this big list, vital, vital, vital. Number 1 thing. So that's 1. 2, right, Trisha? I mean, it comes with outreach and then video games, right? So number 2 is outreach and developing partnerships and centers of influence. So pay time activity, how are you spending your time with partners and centers of influence that have the same audience that you have? So they may not be your buyer, they're not your buyer, but their audience is your buyer. So how many partners, some of my clients call them power partners, centers of influence, how many of these partners are you talking to and touching this week? And a partner in a product-based business may be another business itself, like an absolutely another business. If you're a service and you're a coach, it could absolutely be another coach that has a similar audience that you're collaborating with, right? So that's number 2. Number three is building your ecosystem. And I talk about this a lot because building your ecosystem means that you're here in the middle, and then how does everybody around you think about you? What do they think when they think of you? Who are you to them? So at the bank, this is where you go and get the money, right? All of Dora's teams, you go and get the money, right? So it's money, bank. And then at Honeycomb, it was where small businesses get the money. Go to Dora, small businesses can get the money. Now 3 in Coach Dora, right? Coach Dora is this is where you go to build your business. This is where you go to find your purpose. This is where you go for economic power, right? Those are the things that sit in my center. And so around me, I'm always working on building that ecosystem. So what would that look like for you? That's pay time. And that's speaking on podcasts. That's going and speaking on panels. That's nurturing organizations around you that have an audience that can, so you're tightening up that ecosystem. That takes time, but it's so vital when going from local to regional to national to explode. Everyone knows who you are. And then the last one is guess. I'd love for you to guess what the last one is. But the last one is actually organic marketing, which is inbound sales. And that's the last one on the column of income generating activities, pay time activities. And this is the one that most people do. This is what we're doing all the time and hoping that we get sales from it and we get leads from it. And if we do this alone, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. So we need it. We absolutely need to be out there doing SEO if we're a product based business, posting on social media, posting our reels, posting our lives, posting, and sending out our newsletter. Like that is all marketing. And that is also top of the funnel marketing where you're generating leads. So it will eventually affect your pay time and income generating activities, but it is not going to do it alone. You need the other three activities happening so you can actually hit your bottom line, and hit your goals, whatever your goals are for the day, the week, the month. So the whole industry out there right now, saying I'll get you 10K and I'll get you 20K and I'll get you 100K if you just do this Facebook ad is baloney. It's not business acumen. It's not how you actually grow a sustainable business. So those are all the pieces of pay time. What is no pay time? So no pay time is everything else that you're doing. And we're doing a lot, right? So we're CEO, we're controller, we're marketing director, we're sales team, we're customer service, we're operations. So anything other than those four activities are considered no pay time, transactional, task management, and not generating you income. They need to be done to grow your business, but they're not generating income. So we are already at 20 after the hour, and I'm supposed to be keeping these to 15 minutes. I went over what not doing it alone. So not doing it alone right now is if you are doing it alone, spend your time doing pay time activities. And if you find that you're spending most of your time doing non-pay time activities, that needs to switch. So you need to just become self-aware and look at that data and start switching it. The two other things I wanted to talk about, which were power and I can't remember the last one, right? So that means that I'm supposed to be done. So I'm going to talk about power tomorrow. And then everyone always needs help with these skill sets around pay time. So yeah, great, Dora. That's great. You're telling me to do outreach, but how do I do that? And what do I say? And what should how do I position it? And what should my message be? And how do I host discovery calls? All that good stuff. So thanks for joining on Tuesday. And I really appreciate everyone coming in. Please post your feedback around this morning huddle in the comments. And everyone have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.